Right, abusia mame na wase na memo akwaba mfamra Ashanti Media so ube like video ino wa share dia mo bi foforo na ono so anya bi etumi ahwe. Da di kan ya ho edwumadi ensu ni a wadaroma na wa subscribe to the channel no abeka abusia no se be ya. The news update a yede beba nyina no onso nsa betimi aka bie na wanya bi etumi ahwe. Let's zoom into the stories trending making the airwaves and there. Renaming of the international airport Enya Akosoma officially. President John Dramani Mahama rename Ghana's international airport from Kutuka International Airport to Accra International Airport. Lawyer Anokye has been speaking about this, calling out the legal basis ebetimi ede aba and face challenges ebetimi de aba going forward as a country enya asem ketua wa biebie nsem so pa afenso Ellen Amadaku MPP communicator ono nso ede nano ato sa nsem mu considering say mampanyi prioritize renaming of monumental project than say obe focus on creating jobs for the youth dodo na omunya ni mugidie eto aba ema no we ni nsem bebre ebesi ebegibre na yakutie discussions akoso abra na Frimpong Ziga. In
terms of airport, yes, airport play major role. Jumana airport and edim work in Nepal, HSA. Among for peer, mutu quite free different countries. So Ediba, Ghana, and different country, maybe Ombeko Biano. A majority na do na efa share. Na omo fa wiem hyen so a eden a airport no mefa ente airport hu hia pa ema srahwe adwuma no na ba se airport say ye besesa din renaming ana bibisa no no in terms of tourism say wo hwe nipa dodo na omo ba o man mu for srahwe na directly no and shed any impact bia also because continue bia ni ha was sorry say o tukwaya wakoshe airport ni din aka say airport ndi na meko China ana airport ndi na meko America. In fact president na muno hwa airport ni din krampo no nipa bebre o madwen koso de onima ne say bia meko kro we so enti o sorry no ofa ne baga ono kro no na ni gyen so obekọ ho na din na airport no so de enya de a na adwen koso kra ba and to me say me too quiet, president na me too quiet. Once say, "Oko draw na so mo check you na obaga na mebusa say oko he." Oka say oko Accra. Oko Accra na sometimes omo bi omo ntia say obeka say Ghana.
Yeah.
Okay, because Ghana so Akwa said the only international airport we high Kutuka. But din Kutuka no kra no enya dia like omo and we said the only anim so no obaga na wabedru Accra. Enti Accra na oba enti directly no anya dia America say ebema nipa dodo na omba Ghana hwehwe no esobete ana say ebe kosoro enti ubuza me a anya dia benya direct effect in terms of arrivals say ebe drop it ana say ebe kosoro. And for that matter that argument no so ana omo ye say ahoho eba Ghana na ombedru adi ohun eni kotoka ekulida. Said America no obi anu akọ be am ubusa nipa bebre bia wakọ New York ba ubusa ni JFK o sha dan hwemu ehun JFK nipa kra na oye
yeah
anu an say o nim say your friend JFK and this o ka say din kotoka no so no enungu asema country no because our ho ba Ghana no be hu am be say we cool leader. The truth is that nipa bebre o mu nim kotoka nipa kra na oye you say bia bibi nkomodi na say nipa no din ana obi kan bibia na why den na wakọ hwehwem na wahu nipa kra na oye but say oye cool leader na bibi santi no it also affect country ni image in terms of tourism and also no enya dia in fact we introduction now kasa muntala Muhammad is on no so no your cool leader
yeah
and so the din the airport so Nigeria
yeah or Nigeria yeah
and I no impact ben ewo. In fact, Ghana, yes, I hear numbers now. It has always been growing. So numbers of one Ghana for Israel is a number of cost to remember for more. It depends on what strategies I'll be putting in place. tourism attractions I will develop any strategies I will be marketing tourism attraction abroad, any other ancillary services and cost of travel to Ghana I will be put in place. Basically, I never sure whether so be Ghana and I say one Ghana. But say dear the airport no so there no any idea just be determine so be Ghana and I say one Ghana.
Oh, I see. But Prof, sometimes ukoko biswa yeta ehunu omo big asset be and for share say e kwakwa share any idea. For example, we are told that when you go to Singapore, at the airport, you have to say you cannot carry chewing gum out the back of a club on the it's written there. People say a weird law. I want to say it is never true. True. So sometimes we see people almost share the travel to every other chair any idea. And sometimes confused feel say our airports are accountability. Say who how yes one of the accountability skills say bit with the aboyama see a ton ye ho and ye kopebo say who say ye gisika ye nsen kwa. So se nipa ba ensahwe e we airport and our airport we know the Accra International Airport is one of the finest and beautiful airports in the West Africa. So be ba e there na say ye se we ho be there na say ye tie be betimi register the din Accra Airport on the mind and who say these are one of the best say be call no Accra International Airport e better na no e be obeka abina.
Okay. It says any audi can in fact, yeah, like your airport, West Africa, I say at least my two kakra, and it's in fact even Mutala Mohammed cry kano me ubusamia your airport better say in terms of facilities. But airport, I say like almost every travel terminal. And as a travel terminal, basically the first thing I will be here, I bama nipa ni ajisa terminal no air facilities
Yeah.
And who be here say Ubema state of the art facilities nipa no wako drew honoma the hon channel adia o here bia nipa ni betimi anya. Say emfa say washrooms will be maintaining and clean all the time. Shops, other services, children playground. Nina or for travelers be omo ye layover. Your fan say be our Morocco, not plane be Fagana, no be some plane or Hane say be our did 3-4 hours or ha. Sa 3-4 hours, 5 hours or one kwala or honoma. Say kwala no we some playground kitwe be and kwala no bet my head and idea grow. Or no so no ho be in hand kakra as a parent. And I saw no ankasa so no kwa na etu kwanya. Or no ankasa maybe or benya shop be say coffee shops or whatever and some activity be or betting me then atna ho engage no and no free her facilities no we and no free her then services I provide in terms of quality of service I provide with airport ho. And in this regard no quality of service na nye omo tonton ade wo airport ho nko starting with immigration for no.
Yes.
Anti-immigration services been in terms of say how easy is it for them to communicate and explain things to them and also say providing them na here airport ho amomo na enye say bia na ahoho abedru Ghana na omo abedru airport na afa na immigration nipa no aba na bia woni obi edi nkomo na wa ma nipa no atwen na wogina queue mu. And I said, we know be grinding Poma or Mujina Qma Sabio, the rate at which I will provide this service in here very slow. And Tinipa Bako obey you to be 5-10 minutes. And the Ashana passport as Tampumu and send a movie. And he said, if I say plane Bako be landing and Nipa be 200 more. The benda and I obey show Munina process or I'm on one trim. I call baby I won't for more back. And see, when here say the rate of service I provide, and you better improve on it so that people will not stay on general line check. And because nipa know what play muna or banning our bread. enti obedru ha na wo so no already no asa ne buafu no ho dada enti obedru ha na wo manage na line mu che sa na abufo na ayeden ayekese enti eno so no the gateway enti right from that point to bon say nipa no asa Ghana kra na oba na asa wanu no hu bi sa no
all right
and when you no free so ababy I fire back no how quickly does the luggages get there because sometimes I know so child has to passenger on the frustration we also bet me gina why be our immigration 2 hours and send and na bag and also near the best and these are some of the things a bet my passenger in the airport.
All right, Prof, thank you very much. Jina Sumame, me banama baby bisao. Ekwabe ne betimi afa in the shortest time ne betimi register the Accra International Airport no quickly na etimi account for etimi. Let me announce that we have lawyer Anokye Frimpong, historian and a private legal practitioner on the line. So lawyer, thank you very much. Say what join here. Now catch utie honorable Nipe ade omudi gina so a omudi yi airport ni fi ha mi say waka in the 1966 school no waka ho asem nipa bebre ka ho asem say the airport no does not fit it's like a dino a daso no so be bad this country na say bisa say kotoka ye ho ana ye ka say oye cool maker ana it doesn't order well for us but one of the factors me say obi age atum say nutim yeyi e de afi ho no. Aside that, what else can you tell us as a historian? And I say, so who agrees here a dinner for what else can you tell us?
Okay, I will talk to you both as a lawyer and a historian. Now, going to the law first. Say, what to adiebi edinya, especially adia a year. Ejina or minor anemuno. Yaya emera ede ebakeno. Nti tamwa Kwame Nkrumah esi Accra International Airport no. Yaya emera ede bakiye. Natural said abeye mall another being or another human being altogether with rights of its own. Now, in the case of the change of name. In 1969, no crapa a woman said, Kotoka Trust Fund, yedi AC war in 1969 are backed by a decree, NLCD 339. And no na backed by a decree. Na mom, omwano omo de kan ne yedi en satchroye, say ya sisa Accra International Airport dino, e di Kotoka International Airport no. Me pachel yanchro ewo emeremu eni emeremu enti obi a wotie bibia otafru plane etukwan no obewu se cheat ana slip ana ticket bia emanating from Kotoka International Airport no na it was not reflecting the name KIA na da bia ye ACC enti international law in international aviation language no Kotoka International Airport no enye recognized edine yansesa ne da na ya Accra na ya ne edisi bi enwa besi ene so that is the law. Then number 2 sanke yasesa no a nka obehu se to say Johannesburg yasesa ne ye no Oliver Tambo International Airport it cost them a lot of money because of rebranding. They are luckily it won't cost as much. Omo letterheads any omo cars near the idea ya church who KIA no mbesisa locally. At the international level, no, the name Kotokan was not recognized. Now come to so that is the law. That's a message and then na enunti and a yes ya chira yankwala no and the omo asabi omo nim law no enunti na majority leader enche bi o kan say ye the motion bi bill bi baba parliament concerning the name change na ekoko ba me say
ene na ka me ba bi bisa wo no ene na ka me be bisa wo say if say Kotoka dino ya follow bia na back no a why do we have to send the bill to parliament for approval as yes said dino. Hello lawyer.
Pacho, what do you mean?
Yeah, metron kapa.
Very good. Emra be majority leader obeka asasem wo parliament na kyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ sɛ wɔn alɔyafoɔ ɛyɛ NDC foɔ alɔyafoɔ nye NPP NDC nko NPP foɔ kɔsɔ wɔn nyinaa na ɛka ho a yɛbu ɔman no na ɛsɛ yɛyɛ anobaabayɛ nti abere wɔn nyinaa kɔkɔ tena ase no ɛna wɔn hu no sɛ saa NLCD 339 uncover the name change. It only set up a Kotoka trust fund. Na the name no antofa. Enti na koye bibi te say, ukọ parliament. Na also ukọ sise dini. Edi na eni ho. Also ukọ change decree NLCD 339. Eni ho cry does it never extended to the airport name itself. Enti na hu yi so mbekọ airport biom na mum so omukokoye ceremony na yeka say yasese din ba it should be outside the parliament house edunti na ekoko ba nisa.
Oh, I see. So now yenko a debate and call for adia by a catching mixed reaction ubi a chen adwene one of the key factors the transport minister no laid down and they say Kotoka is a coup maker some fatase UBC airport, such a beautiful airport. No banner say, who is Kotoka? So or a former coup maker there. But we've seen somebody like Murtala Mohammed International Airport, one of the largest and the busiest international airports in Africa, and named after a coup maker. We've seen some roads here. What this country has been named after President Rawlings and Yadi. So, how do we respond to it so that we get a sanity or understanding?
But that's what be a question, Papa, because a country like Nigeria, Omampeni or more done pan, we know, Untumi ya Murtala Mohammed Ewum, and so on, so ye coup. And now call Burkina Faso. Omampeni ebedi wonso hina wuyi baako a omodo ne yie pa ono ne Thomas Sankara ono so ye ku make anti ochira bi no makosi airport na omo de atuna na obeka se wo so ono so ye ku make me pa cho na nka say transport minister no ochira mu ye and say in the case of Accra International Airport it was named or renamed after somebody who overthrew Africa's greatest politician. Kwame Nkrumah na di kanje fa hudie wa bibi memha. Say ye kan ye dia. Nke beka se country bi to say Egypt, any Libya, any your friend say Algeria and Sudan, any Liberia, Ethiopia. No maji fa hudie ansa na Ghana eba. Enso omo fa hudie ni no omo amfa nya hwe. Ghana nkwaba system ni mo no na ye move wo nyina together na AU eba ya na ye AU and wachi Ghana started talking about real African unity and the whole third world emancipation. President Nkrumah and ma Commonwealth of Nations here Britain for at the buy the secretariat Nkrumah na me at the secretariat by that first so Nkrumah ma no na black people in the US the civil rights are to aba Kwame Nkrumah je fa ahudie no na Malcolm X ne Martin Luther King mo ba na omunya inspiration na kwaye ma blacks etuminya rights de to aba wo your friend is Africa. Then as late as 1999 to the year 2000 Kwame Nkrumah was voted the greatest black person ever for the past 1,000 years. Na say nipa we na ban na nipa na wo betu sa aban ni guye no ye the airport e the atoa e no the emfata e ye different from Murtala and your friend say Sankara there no because of nipa no a Kotoka betu no senko to sabe obi te say bi ayaye nua Mahama adana na kufu ado na kufu a mesrew meka e ye different from the entity called Kwame Nkrumah. Are completely different.
I see, but lawyer Oko baby to say when 2010-11 the Middle East uprising in the Bayern, we saw Ora Ben Ali, your friend say Tunisia, Tama uprising in the Bayern. In fact, the Tunisian people they hailed the uprising. When it hit Muammar Gaddafi in Libya, they hailed it. Hosni Mubarak in Egypt, they hailed it. Even Assad Mala, who was not able to overthrown by the uprising even his own people, Syrian people, stood against him. That people describe them as tyrants. Now, when you come to this country, people is saying that as far as you are not taking anything from Dr. Nkrumah. They say, oh yeah, wait. He said, yeah, Kase, it was one of the best presidents of Africa, head of state in Africa. But people were saying that he was a tyrant, a dictator. He jailed people without sentence and all that. And Okahubi and make a Makotoka a hero. So Kotoka somehow also did something for this country, which is remarkable, and we need to celebrate it.
The Patronia Okano, Ashanti Memono. But when we were school above 1979, and I'm Kumasi High School, we 84. Ashanti Memono. And a yana nanum, and nam matemo for any CPP for one tokwaninti. Omukika Sansam no Dr. Kwame Nkrumah so a tyrant to Jelin Crawford without this and that and that. We are school ye, now we shall say, why liberated into Ubeshiadia. No one will say a year or 10 Wunukwa. No crapa a woman. And it's a Kwame Nkrumah and Tietio found years. No momono. Parties in one never they were rather doing the wrong thing. Mamma, the best example. United Gold Coast Convention, I attained on 1947. Yet in the set, MJ Fahudie, and farmer the Gold Coast Colony. Gold Coast Colony, no, and only in the Western region, East Central region. And Tinanka Ashanti in Kahu, vote and Kahu, not in Kahu. Convention People's Party, Kwame Nkrumah was the only national party. Now, 1952, and one tape. You can say NLM 52, 53, NLM to fight for Ashanti. They wanted to break away from Ghana. And the Northern People's Party, they wanted to break away from Ghana. Transporter Togoland Party, person who joined Togo. And it's a washer 54 election na year. Apart from Convention People's Party, a winning seat in every part of Ghana. Other parties in Wakena, they won seats from only the regions they were representing. And as at independence 1957, they need national opposition. It is a NLM for Kasamu Kasama Santiman, Transport Kasamu Kasama voter, Northern People's Party Kasamu Kasama Northern. So Kwame Nkrumah was forced to pass a law called Avoidance of Discrimination Act. Some the other parties in Kitwani in Abekabo near national opposition. So I'm telling you, say, and some of can edify Kwame Nkrumah ehono. So ye dictator, or ye say, Menka so ye nyankupon. So Menka say Kwame Nkrumah young from floor we are saying no ye nyame. Number what the Kwame Nkrumah at the truth is our Rollins. Uba say Kwame Nkrumah wa mechi army generals amubo wontuo. Send ye ku afifa ne champion ne akufumo without any reason.
Yeah.
What the Kwame Nkrumah to Rollins and wa. Kwame Nkrumah na mbra yankwachichi high court judges any army officer and kokumu nti anna Kwame Nkrumah create curfew e wo Ghana ye boss say block na wada you creating one party state no one party state no so no yeah referendum na Ghana for so omope because as I told you parties in Kitwana already they were not representing the nation. It was only CPP that was doing nationwide campaign. Nti mesina ya mo no madu amu ye nyimfa free ye tirim ye na nanum keka na Ashanti Memono wunyini pe no wan say moaye omoboa.
I see. So what happened to the famous preventive detention act 1958 or the bar we are told say a lot of people were sent to detention without trial. Be why they no call detention and trial no JB Danko had to die in jail blah 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 center left and right and it's no.
But that's a powerful question. The attorney said preventive detention act no. Samre will be all can once a match over on sign can say Samre na near to bomb against him. Nkrumah say so what's here PDA media. Next say yes I background and say when I'm one ABC bill here from 92 ABC in there and nakura ya advance pano. Yanto bomb and targeted president and MP and minister bida. Now Nkrumah the me sure say what is say to bomb against him and say ye kumuno. And so Parliament had to make Nkrumah was only one member of Parliament. Omwa Akano 70 something in those days. and almost as is a Yanshisha Emera. So be a best suspect is a whole plan BB against Abino, near Barbecho. At the echo. Kwame Nkrumah as an individual or pass your patch. Kwame Nkrumah was a single member of parliament before 1960, no, also a MP. So it was done to protect the government of the day. Nameka so actually was said, Sisi ya meno ewahi. Sir President Mahama Anam Tamale, they attempt to see a battle bomb the Akuno. Odru Kumasi are the same, Odru Takradia the same. We will need to protect the president and the government. Inti Abama ya resorted to emergency powers in the constitution. Inti the Preventive Detention Act, no, na nye BBBI and Wanwa, and no na indirectly a work constitution. Anybody be a obestati problem be if he said a better threaten the security of the state. We will resort to emergency powers. And ya be a Wanwa. Inti an act of emergency near this idea no a day a buy. And a JB Dankwa dear no woken. Dr. JB Dankwa was not killed by anybody. You two Kwame Nkrumah and no we body no a autopsy. And no who say he died in prison, all right, but from natural causes. No bina ekuno. And a JB Dankwa and ya me no say United States I'm a young who said from declassified CIA documents. I'm a young who say no here Juma de ma CIA editia ne mind. General Kotoka, the 1 year hero no, and it's a cool no year no. 1 year saw the democracy back. He was working for the United States Central Intelligence Agency. In America for now be doing one dance here say. No Mushro Dr. Nkrumah said the way or project Africa no African unity no. Africa for to become near as a Russia and as a China. Western world ni na omo ayira because omunya raw materials and the slaves no. Non-conform Jumama will free after your Japade free from here. To be a when they be and see a uniform, Kwame Nkrumah, be a Gaddafi, any Lumumba, be a any Sankara, be a Ujuna Bibi Mine, including their own president Kennedy. No, Kwame Nkrumah alone, one with this year question, Bodam, all because of a Bibi Fwasem. The assistant president of America, Abraham Lincoln. Because of before us, American president before us, we are civil rights person. Martin Luther King, and your friend said Malcolm X. Now come to even Bob Marley, and your friend said musicians no mutu reggae, eka freedom wasam and the civil rights. Yeah, eliminate you, and only Western world. Adia woman. Now more better so. No, we do woman is sick and now we recognize women now we show woman was here. Protect you for that. Kwame Nkrumah did not do worse than a friend is a Mobutu any for 1 year. But you protect you woman because of the one question Brunias. Now what should I say? We the menyansa ya poison why you bet you waba ya two wabaya ya beku physically with us.
All right, lawyer Yebejai Amwako here the digest live on Kesben TV, DSTV channel 364 and GoTV channel 12 and transmitting live from Asada Twin Towers and Kokomlemle in Accra here. All right, so lawyer, now will come be the first who was Ashanti Memoir, what tells our history no a bit painted Kwame Nkrumah black any idea. So tell us when Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown, are you saying that it was only the Ashanti people that held the coup jubilation was only in Ashanti region Kwana?
But Kwame Nkrumah too no I wouldn't say there was jubilation only in Ashanti. In fact, they are not Ashanti na no opposition no so, but on record no we need more seats or hot opposition no.
Yeah, I see.
No we need, so that is what we should know. Ashanti because Ashanti was the biggest region. That time na Ashanti na nye been in Ashanti no. Na ahafo and bono eka. Inti na ye 3 in 1 region. Inti na ashiye pa. Inti say no matter how small the opposition against Nkrumah was in Ghana, and I'm saying na Ashanti here about 3 times bigger than all other regions. Na population they take and they be who the real opposition. Now in reality it is in Kwame Nkrumah's autobiography that Queen Elizabeth Maye did So 6 March 1957, Yabaji Fahudieno, there was much celebration in Kumasi than in Accra. It's not making us Asante time for my the opposition and I want or time, not Ghana for Edon. Now let me come to your real question, say celebration. Celebration, what happened, and they say nipa not now man eswa from 1951 up to 66, and they had to say yetuno. Euphoria ni great obia PA so babe celebrating when they didn't know what they were doing.
I see.
One so sang tomato nipa bi a won no benante ache say ya yere say ya ekunu da wo beti say wanya nipa fufuro bi no with the mirika ekokwohwe no, because you always think that something new is better, is greater until say nkrofo buy within 1 year pepepepe na kuwasi na yakum kotoka efe ntokwasi NLC ni mu, and they were forced to hand over and go away na tuaswa or minor.
I wanted to ask this question, the last question before because there's a question that I have to ask him. And so that question is only lawyer Anokye from Pon and bit me answer this question because he said they all canon. We all know say General Kutu Champon was in Nkrumah history and on the Kofa Kwame Nkrumah esa eba Ghana and all that time Nifunu Koka or baby no. He brought it back to Ghana. Now, Osha General Kutu Champo, near administration BBI was something that were things Dr. Kwame Nkrumah decided to do, the jail to go, and in the policies near there. So the question is that how come that General Kutu Champo did not recognize that the coup Kotoka Kase Kotoka sorry, it was a coup maker, it's a CND free the airport so, but rather or ultimately for 8 good years abra once is Kotokadi. I think that if we get back to Ura Anokye from Pombaka, sorry, we need to ask him this question. I wish that we get him back so that he can answer this question for me. And beside that, no Osam Yetia says Ushe and Kofuana terrorize Dr. Kwame Nkrumah na mamuno de bomb omo de bomb we suma ema yekunkun Kofo ne ade ano ana and the Kofa there's a preventive detention act by 1958. Now the question is omo ye che omo kogu no we saw a few people, so why no why biem and na yes ade no a eno no ye che omo ko omo a ye che omo ka ho no e de biem no omo ye eno ye do omo koy. I think say a brave semuno will get him na yanana atwetwe sa enkomono. So that we've been also joined by Ellen Amaduku is a communication member of the communication directorate at the New Patriotic Party has also joined us. So baby Obia Ellen, thank you very much sir what joining here. So let me go to Ellen. We still have Professor Ishahaku, is a tourism management at the Department of Hospitality and Tourism Management and Vice Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, University of Cape Coast. We still have him on the line. So say we have horses here, but let me go to Ellen. So Ellen, you are a communicator. You are Ghanaian. We say one by Metro Kwame Nkrumah, but you have read a lot from Kwame Nkrumah and all that. Now. Yes, sir. Your friend say yes, sir, and yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your airport, from Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. You as a communicator, as a Ghanaian, you want to chip in. So, what is your take on these changes?
Well, me patcho mutimenka na na madam wase say my friend me wa ha nukura ni nyame anim me as you said my meto Nkrumah. I heard about Nkrumah from my grandmother, and of course utie ukaya ade wa ko school kakra wa woni say ye mu bi a generation no na still no mo kire the history of Ghana. Minim say egusu koso dia in all its aspects, both the good and the bad. No mo kire enti minim say I know who Nkrumah was. Minim say na ne mre so no Yes. Or yeah, Papa Bebre. But definitely, on your perfect or your nipa. And Niama Bebre so called Swa. Na enye. In fact, me for me grandmother dear, me more of men can say konkonsa. Oh, and konkonsa ni and sama and rumors. Rumors and sama nan call for kafa Dr. Nkrumah ho. Kekaya could do say so wakofa busumbi free baby, all those things. But utie sa stories ni nyina na wan so kokan na wo de share context one you camera no ne na ekoso wo wiase ne nia ono so as ono so ye de try so de be born ne ho ban a na who say history it's history krobia wone de papa wom boni wom eti no me fa ne say Ghana ye wo in history. President Nkrumah was our first president. Oye niema bebre aneye. Oye niema bi nsusu a na enye. Me the only problem I have is say you try say you will make it look as if he said he was an angel. He was not an angel. It is a history ni dia ni a papa, and there are quite a lot. Ni a chere bone so about him because oye nipa. Nkrumah is Nkrumah. Obia ntimi endane. You cannot change him. You cannot change him from who he is. You cannot change what he has done for Ghana. For me, I think that is my general thoughts on it. I know quite well, and I think a lot of Mimi generation, the coming generation, I'm 44 years. Yeah, no matter back after Rollins. I was born in 1982. It's me we cool time any a woman. It's with kakra me back say yeah. Me many sort of team another coup was over. To me, no me who could that. Me Nkrofo ye younger than me. Ye who could that. In fact, I mean, a few years older than me. They come where you were 79. 78, 79. Eba down. Who ye beti ye besia. That is the last I mean the last coup that we've ever had in Ghana, Rollins again. Yeah. So for this generation, what kind of thing? Generation X and Alpha for the year. Somebody know basically it is history for them.
Yeah.
I can say I am quite indifferent about airport Dina Wasasano. I am very indifferent.
Yeah. I was about to ask you that because I don't want her to deviate the topic they are discussing. Now tell us when we heard say the airport has been changed, now it's Accra International Airport. Your initial reaction towards it?
I'm indifferent. Because I'm indifferent. What it means is that they can't watch you and shut down family hosa. Niame hame wa brabo mu sese no airport din sesa enye me problem enka ho.
I see.
Maybe hu ne say ya to edin kotoka fiti 19 time when say ya to no 19 something 19 what 50 something
Yes, yeah. You go ahead, I'll check it. Go ahead.
Not to do for more than 40 years. Me na make me 44 years. So you can imagine. Now how many years down the line? Ubana was Sana original before that one now. How does that put food on my table? Me papa no ye koko kuyeni na abanya jini sika so ne bag bi aso 1,000 cedis ni actually no. Eno no sa airport ya what send you know if I me papa if I ho ben. Eno nshada anya your problem. Honestly,
but if not that, I read it from somewhere. You made it categorically clear that it's a NPP back power. You make sure say the name is being reverted to a Kotoka.
Yeah, say, oh yes, sir. You are just giving the opportunity for Obiaba or doing say the BSSC. You just keep on changing. And the succeeding government back. Or didn't say we dear when yamede, a dean when yamede, no assessor, when so bad, or didn't say dean when yamede, no assessor. That is what I said. For me, I felt it was a useless venture, and I still feel it is a useless venture, honestly.
So
because for me, it's American, me say for me, Pacho. Man can't say it takes me say for me. Niente America said is what's your excuses? No, when you crap up the reasons, no excuses. The reasons the current Minister Nemaya. They are returning it to the original owners. That is the Ghana people. Meboa. So that's one of the reasons or the money.
Yes.
It is a good year. And come on, say or Kintakita, we had the first one, Meboa, or not the original or him Paul would be kind one cry. And then move on to the Sasadia. Sasadia. And it is our banner saying and Yakotokabium, a crack. Mika's original name, Nukotoka International Airport, Accra. Now is where you Kotoka Nefri, one of the Accra International Airport about. Bra, how does that change my brother meeting say? And in the park, yaka, start changing, then partner they brain. So as I said, I'm indifferent and I really don't, I'm coming home. The question I met me a busa on it is I name changing, I buying spend this be our one day. And what I'm interest.
They will spend money because according to Honorable Nipe, Joseph Nipe, the transport minister, I'll say the changes a normal mobile ma Adiana Akaho as a Accra International Airport will be captured in the next budget.
It's a say at this point in time, situation again na wom on wa buying this onye second year cocoa for cano or person this cano near my bebrebe high and Ghana ha nurses, teachers, I form with Mama Yentuomoka. The military soon some rent allowance and military prisons, security services almost in Tuomoka. I buy ones to spend, I buy priority. This person spend this Ikasasa airport din. That is up to their buying. That is up to their buying. So no just any priority ni say or spend this Ika at the Asasa airport din up to a buying. But me, Ubusami as an opposition person, as a young person, me after the last school in Ghana, Nini Air Koswa, whose passes a din upa and faculty to Kaupa International Airport, Ghana. It is up to you. It's up to, it is a new idea. If I buy drink set the priority, so this is a name change more. Send ye, Yamiadum, in Fiam and Sabia Diadum, ever quite that woman. Watch the Ghana for why ya what pressing needs, and so you're not just say Sikano or the Bayer Airport name change.
Oh, I see. All right. So just Mami Sisiana, Mesa so Mami call Professor Ishahaku. Mami San Kaimo say we still have a lawyer Anokye from Paul is a historian. We still have him on the line. Now let me go to Professor Ishahaku. So Prof, apart from you being a tourism expert, let's watch from this way. I remember when Kumasi International Airport, Nanado Danko Kufaru decided to name it after Otumfuo Seitu the second. But Otumfuo told him, he said, no, men found to be factor prempe the first because that area na airport, and when I prempe the first, and then the residents, and within a year found to know, okay, there you take somebody like Ohinijan Sports Stadium, Tamana Buha had a buyer, President Kufuor, Edeto, Ohinijan. Na the Gachifs stood against it, The Gachif obu debate and that's all my argument and they say they weren't enough. Your friend say a consultation, broader consultation, and we are 1, 2. They asked President Kufuor to name the edifice after Nilai. That is 2. They are also me and some chess Afarijan na 7 previous no or criminal no your Ministry of Finance ama of forgery. Or falsified documents, be the renewed road contract or voter region, all that. At least they gave us a reasons. And you know, I see a name and edifice after different person and all that. Now the explanation that Ushe Joseph Nipe, Honorable Transport Minister, no Eddie Maye says, "Sir, and ye jina so Eddie assessor edino." Is all that convincing that say, and your man yem pe. Bibia tia yempe konebra back and forth. Sa na sem no waka say ne your friend Accra International Airport, it has to go back to Accra International Airport. Is that all that convincing?
Okay, thank you. Before then, I think there were some issues. Lawyer Anokye from Pond, and I think we need to say, sometimes you didn't have two perspective more. Like Ellen said, you see, Nkrumah is Nkrumah, and no doubt say he's been president Ghana. But we should also stay away from this attempt say about whitewashing Nkrumah all the time. We try say like I say he was nipa kunkun biya, boni biambata no ho. And
some of the things Prof what the fact Odikaka say Nkrumah was not angel but ubia
yes,
on the so
but even some of the things he said or some of them are not right. Because, for instance, you can't say civil rights movement leaders have been taking inspiration from Nkrumah. Really, Nkrumah was in school in the US in 1942 through to 1945. Or no more Nekoji inspiration. He attended several talks by Marcus Garvey Dubois. That was where we had inspiration on Pan-Africanism. So it cannot be the opposite. That he inspired the civil rights movement in the US. I don't know where that is coming from. Because we are, or in the course of the program, go, just check it. Any source. Nkrumah was inspired to be a Pan-Africanist when he was in school in the US. So it cannot be because of the civil rights leaders. In fact, civil rights movement started in 1942. So it cannot be that it's the opposite. Inspiration from Ghana after Ghana became independent, or what they call fighting for. In fact, if you look at the chronology of events, in terms of civil rights movement in the US, the key events, if you look at the key events of it, most of them started in the 1940s. And that was way longer than Nkrumah ever Ghana. Okay, and the prominent leaders of civil rights movement, Marcus Garvey, Dubois, they all preceded Omoba before Kwame Nkrumah. So some of the things, let's put them right. Now, no question about who. He what tries there, even though Murtala Mohammed were a cool leader, but Nkrumah ye never P. Now who said Murtala Mohammed was Nigeria? And a coup be a coup. Okay? Anything a coup a treason, you know. It's not about because we were you favorite Kwame Nkrumah free hunting or and only bad, but all other coups in here good. And usually, you know, when you say that, to say like you pinned him, who can say there are streets named after Rollins and all that. Some now cool leaders are. Then let's deal with it that way. Okay. Then Osaka something about said the name Kotoka was not internationally recognized. Not so. All over the world, which airports are, there are names that airports bear, but the airport code, okay, based on the International Air Transport Association standards, you know, the airport code is always different from the name of the airport. And my memorable example, we call Amsterdam as Schiphol Airport. It's called Schiphol, but the code is not S, it's AMS.
I see.
Because of the city of Amsterdam. OR Tambo now, which is in Johannesburg. It's called OR Tambo, but the code is JNB. So for him to say that Kotoka's name was not accepted because the code was always ACC, it's not right because there's a lot of airports in the world. Do you know different from the code? In most cases, and we may try no class, in most cases, airport code, right?
Yeah.
For cities, I was single airport, you know. The airport code is doubles as the same as the city code all over the world. So there's only one international airport, South Korea. The airport code is the same as the city code.
I see.
In ticketing, we have a city has a code that we use to represent it. And so the airport code near one is the same city code. So it's not about whether the name is recognized for that matter, anything and code in the ACC. No, it's far from it. OR Tambo is JNB, that is the code. Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam is AMS. Okay. And I can give you tons of examples. No, so in ticketing, airline ticketing, you normal words, and you say, what call London, you London, you better LON. Okay. Krobia, the code, short form of alphabet, 3-letter alphabet, and the representative chrono. Airport, the 3 alphabet, letter code, and the representatives are airport. You trade, in full. Because software, the ticket, the issue ticket, the sign, design, no. And the country, our code. And the who call ticketing software anymore, you trade Ghana, you better GH.
Okay, so Prof, save it for me. So, Mwamushe TV, you know, the key points that the Ministry of Transport released, you know. Okay, the paragraph 2 of what we have just put on the TV, you know. Please bring it back. The paragraph 2 of the, you know, or say the coordination with Ghana Airport Company Limited. That is the GACL. And a Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, GCAA, an international aviation body. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Prof, proceed for me.
And Osaka, a question so also that Osaka said, Mise, it's not the case. Airport, tell me, I best say airport, DB, and Espeniska. Okay, you basically this sika. If I were not so more year renovation, minister, and so more year renovation, but start renovation, no more year, no. Now, airport, dinner, best is an home. Because we become a contract no for renovation. And the airport, this is an home. What the Kakanwa, you have varied the terms of the contract for the renovation. Okay, we change it in so I obey branding for the purpose of international travel.
Okay.
We letterheads, so best say no say letterheads. Look,
the old
every
one,
public organization. Letterhead, you know, letterhead your order. If you order for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. And our best is said, you know, what's it said, you know, the letterheads now can know the wedding.
I see.
Do you get it? It is okay. In fact, the last example I believe McCarran Airport, Nevada, almost started in 2021 to Harry Reid International Airport in Nevada in US. They spent about $7.5 million in the process. So then there will be some cost. As to how much the cost is, fine, we cannot tell. But to say, then almost spend this scadi almost spend it.
But I say the transport minister no acknowledge say it will be factored in the budget. I think if you can display what the transport minister no kind of say yeah the two CC if you can change it there so that a T for me and as I have for me actually yeah or say the cost implication to be managed within the existing operational budget. Just say the exist operational budget the carry the no the air cost the numuna numuna benya ye betis can dey free.
Question person Muzan say time I read the budget no. Omo de shemu say on besesa idin no.
We did not hear.
Say na enka ho a because we go offer budget. Budget is line by line item. Now the cost amano. And this time na when that be who say besesa din no and one ma cost bia for that year. And tonight say we environment and I say we offer different budget item cost the abema na na say we end there. But I no cry issue. The bottom line is that then you will spend this car. And the question is, can I be spending at this particular point in time? Is that the priority? Because said the medical kind of airport no said new once said new. Obia ni wa yes Rafemu Obeka say me cut Ghana for visit as a tourist. Dina at that airport in Suntina me ko na I don't Suntina me ko. So as far as I'm concerned, it will numbers no cost numbers no so map up. With products are how you market your country, how you package it, the services you deliver. And then will be about Ghana for Australia and I say, oh ma. By near that airport no so there. Sabi I say so bobo any and you know say oh if I say 1 million cedis cry now cost spend was as far as I'm concerned who here. Because any idea be more value be
So for you think that was unnecessary? Per the we already seen in ano. Say be border tougher. It looks like it's unnecessary, right?
No, for me, you know, it's more like fashion can home out. And also, I said, you know, what Janice are entering free so. Entosini. And to a day. What the total justification no moment for me and Trekum, you know, what Janice how who change it, you know, and ya dia obenya paso be a free so.
I see. I see. So all right. So let me go back to Ellen now. Mesa Bahona, as we are waiting for the other panel to join in us. It's still live on the program, The Digest. Accra International Airport now. It is not Kotoka International Airport. So if you are doing documentation, and I say, Uye Bibia, make sure say anybody we are after now Babeya. Now I in Accra International Airport. Don't do it Kotoka International Airport. Though the minister now may say the old Kotoka International Airport. No, I say a documentation biane adi biane adi biane still exists. I buying edutum. It's ye be a year koyanum kakra no ano. Ne biana efidi out just like ye read nomination. No, sikadada no you differ e mono na eba no. It's ye koyanum kakra no ano. And you use sikadada ni edifim. So that is that. So a step towards national identity and political symbolism. So that is that. So Ellen, what else can you tell us? What else are opese oka at the account?
As I said earlier, I'll repeat it again. Say, see, I'm to Accra International Airport, Kotoka International Airport. It makes no difference in my life. Near make a difference, they say. Me papa ye koko kweni. Me papa ti we yatini sikaso. O man so eya ojini koko na o mami bi. Because onye koko kweni kitwa na fuoso. Eti afi sika o man de mama me no. O mami bi. Because abanya tini koko ba ku bia bag ba ku bia so yati so 1,000 cedis. Brian na ye me problem o. Eti en na ye me problem. It is obey ni Kotoka, obey ni denyo. It is not my problem, and I know say nipa be brave wo hwa. Eno nso ni omo problem. Abrabo emu nsensema esese aban ye ho adwuma. Ye gusu ka koko fu asem. Wo ye omo dan ti odwin se koko ni na oti sehwi. Ne owa asante achim, ne owa ahafo ho no ono airport ya wasesa di fa ne ho ban. Enkwala na akoye adwuma teacher for ni nurses for na teacher for ni si ye hu omo staff numbers nti ye ntu omo ka boso me hehe no eno no ko airport name change no how is that going to affect them? Nurse for no niema esese aban ye a o man the priority now onye ye no eno hu na hia enti me we come tell me say airport din a as I said me Rollins baby after Rollins born after Rollins school and family home. I'm not interested. That will not put food on my table.
But some spiritualists so at Akache and say the deal Kotokano 7 previous and also can who be between the Omania. So if say Ebia has been revealed to Pennyphobia said we need to take off this name. Don't you think say yeah or may moi?
Spiritualist Ben. And the point is, at this point in time, as I said, well, spiritualist the chrono obetimi amayen the solution to the cocoa matter. Okwaya befa shoma cocoa fu enyo musika. Ana next for no omobeti anya omusika ni teacher for no. Me spiritism, no spiritualist, ne asori sem no bra me can be because me ti ma sori yapam me. Me ni suban ti ma sori ya tro me letter yi medi. Enti bibia that's got to do with spiritual matters. Mimi who ni say individual matter. Me who ni enti a esese sofo bi or spiritualist bi e di na asem na no eba be to oman asem a ye ni abre ka ho asem. Eba be ka kire yen say edin has been on us on the airport for 50 something years. And I den it's we are and also so na saying and the government wants to change the name because of a spiritual person or a spiritual obi spirit also den but also a spiritualist. Me pacho sa sunsumu nse me nka se na maka me ma sori ya pa me na hwi inti mesraw
ba say in 2008 the same thing see na a teacher for Ebeka say Nagrat for eco strike. Kwame Alobi was leading strike at that time. See him to omoka any idea or market to being count. But President Kofo overlooked that and started naming some of the national assets like Babayara Sports Stadium, Kumasi Sports Stadium to Babayara, Kaneshi Sports Complex to Azuma Nelson Sports Complex, Accra Sports Stadium to Ohinijan, on and on and on and on. But at times so now Kofo here, but if we say suddenly a car or mine no see a case you know Maya, they are all part of it. Say we need to name edifice no properly. You find your name ye.
Esisa edisika be kan mo. Name na President Kufuor ye edisika bi be kan obi sika ho ana.
I say honor.
Years down the line ye.
Say a honor.
President Kufuor ye nti John Mahama nso so ye.
Say a president.
How does that change the life of the ordinary Ghanaian? Niame ha ye no. Son is saying, me, that's why my question is. And see, I don't see why we should honestly waste our energies on this matter. Say yo, there's prosperity, posterity to guide all of us. But me sure say in our current situation, me am my dear, and me business. Me sure say a lot of Ghanaians so and shut down for Mohonsa.
So what has happened is a waste of time, waste of energy, waste of resources. That's how you see it.
In my estimation. Waste of time, waste of energy, waste of resources. And I mean, when he said they are trying to divert attention from Niamey here to say Koko for us.
I see.
But
more diverted attention there. Not 7 predators as why fair to the government because they announced it even before the cocoa issue nearby. The time of parliamentary leadership a press briefing and Ora Mama Yariga. Majority leader made us to understand. He said, "A buying intention is a person at the airport, from Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport." That was the 3rd of this month. That time, the change of But I need the 2 weeks, 1 week here, and
first 2 weeks in the empire. Next, the first and now he said next for by Ebehu Akando minister our ministry. That was somewhere in January or late last year, one of them. It's what I'm trying to say. They say we have urgent matters, your priorities, and yet the name change of an airport. Happened to me bottom. Me sure say okra di be two bottom. This say be our contract be for the signage there. Ebia now na ebe contract na they are fine. And the meti wase. But say yeah, my contract ni bi. Why am fighting me can wabra about one? I mean seriously. I'll buy next year on some can chance was yes airport need nobody cares. It's up to them. In 4 years, in 3 years, on where Juma on my back to Ghana for him. No watch say money and tia. On what you say at this time. I say a dig Ghana for Sikani Emre, SSR airport today. President Kufuor there now or yeah, so on who buwa konta na refi say your elections.
Yeah.
Sending you Anna.
Yeah.
18 President Mahama so be bunu ho akonta. Ensisa mabrabo, ensisa wabrabo, ensisa Ghana for no dodo na brabo ne de. I don't think say idea say higher ho.
All right, thank you very much. We Ellen Ama Daku is an NPP communicator. So thank you very much, Ellen. Say one your frawaji so Prof wrap up mami. Mami shasa yenche sad we now whether we like it or not. Say yasesa edino at Accra International Airport. We don't normally say Accra AC Airport and yedini acto so where national asset any idea. Na enkofa shase ye proposal say ebeya say ye wo Jomo Kenyatta Airport ye wo the Kennedy Airport Jeff Kennedy Airport ye wo Murtala Mohammed Airport Mohammed the 5th airport on and on and on. Ye name the airport after somebody. You as a tourist unim osa ye history ni sa normal. This country see a person name airport na and can why na fi senk ye name after. Yeah, Prof, unmute yourself for me.
Sorry. Yes. Ubisa me amen ka say ye shada name ka men kwanti dia ka din kotoka no kra ka ya fa yen sa anka ka ya jana sa. Because book be a meka obusa question say what is in the name. Na dino nipa da madin din.
Yeah.
You get it. Kotoka no usha in terms of branding ya branded ya credina branded for over 50 years. Enti kaya madini kaya nan kaya den. But all the same, once our master son on Accra, no, so no, it's okay because sometimes airport so yeah the to location airport no one but ka airport ankasa de ka wo de to obi a nipa odi mu a and anka no kra in terms of tourism obetima aka say be attract nipa aba country ho and ti ko obi a yamfa no say ne din akọ akire internationally ebi ono nti obi be ka say mate say ebi a yamfa no asem ka na me ko ebi a Kofi Annan International Airport ewo Ghana Kofi Annan so UN Secretary General waji din we wiase anyina nti ka Kofi Annan ebi a obi wo India kra wate din ne da wo ebi a wo penasem because of adwuma bi a wa baby nti asade a ma me tu kwan ko Ghana because mate say ho no fi name of airport no ebetimi aboa ama wa brande ho as a destination edi anya ahoho ama o maba enti ka sa nipa ne bi na yese de ye de to omo na sabi akra e wodi de but wo ka akra wo tu kwa na ko ka akra na sometimes we say o man ben enyo bia na ni ma akra okay sometimes we tu kwa na wo ba Ghana na wo airport wo check in na e busa say wo ko hen na wo ka akra no ma busa say Ghana.
I see.
Just say in Ghana. And in terms of Di Accra, no, me sure say Dino Kra no a bit much Mama Ghana, some more bands.
So the last point that we go we have Greater Accra, the whole region, such a region. Though it's the smallest, but the most populous any idea all the big things I all Ghana and Accra has. So we have named the region after the town, you understand? And I say the city Accra. So do we still have to name the airport so after Accra?
And America say me my dream with the anka here. And anka you bet me if indeed a ban free say is necessary, which I think is not because Bianca the area no. But Kabani fee say necessary. Okay, so we leverage that moment. We see this opportunity no. Now come pay some internationally recognized figure. Where Ghana ni bia sadino bed the ebetimi atwen obi say oh na me nko Ghana na me nko hwe ne wo Ghana what did na na complete.
What about Kwame Nkrumah?
Kwame Nkrumah, how many never do say now what you have to Kwame Nkrumah Ghana?
Kwame Nkrumah circle. We have
in fact UST, can UST cry or honor? Me need say a bit more sorry free baby say me by UST because of being Kwame Nkrumah ninety. So I how I remember UST so mobile school. Yeah, because of Nema Tech Air. Dia Tech AJ as an academic institution. Not because of the name on it. Okay. Oko what do you call it? Zambia. Or the whole university at Tono. Udim. Are you aware of it? No, because it doesn't really fetch any mileage.
I see.
There are a number of African countries or monuments after him, but nobody knows about it. So I'm not clear in my mind say they took Kwame Nkrumah necessarily a between Ghana. And the current generation of even African Americans we are dealing with, and new generations are our civil rights movement are aware of that pure Pan-Africanist ideals. Okay, so ideals in new now I can say Kwame Nkrumah now we Pan-Africanist you know. For African Americans, you know, Ghana. It's a whole new generation, starting from the 80s to the 90s and even some in the 2000s. I don't know, Kwame Nkrumah no one that.
I see.
Pan Africanism, no crisis here. What you are, I know any problem, mano. I because say oh they got to Pan Africanist figure to what TD now best for America. Say ba no be Ghana.
I see. Okay.
I don't think Kwame Nkrumah is the answer as well.
And what about say I didn't see a person to a son of the soil of Accra because over Accra there are a lot of heroes. Omonaji Accra jinaho amene yenina everybody is moving to Accra. Here is the capital. Oma di afashe oma kwaje oma yesu oma gunsa Oma boa paya menenko for business ekoso ni ade we have heroes in this region. Enti say ye the two omu bia no will you support that idea? Do you support that idea?
Me no ho so a me ka say airport no a national monument. And yet say be tribal or regional.
But they are also but they are also Ghanaian nationals.
Very good. They are also Ghanaian, but does that mean they represent Ghana by themselves? So Ubusamia yenko for something that is nationally acceptable. Okay. Said nipa we the contribution nema why ABCD or mine can serve as a rallying point for unity. We can come together. Okay. But for me in my little you are federating regionalism. But Accra is a national capital. Yes, it's for grants, but it's a national capital. I beg Ghana for the
okay.
So
Prof, you better ask.
Yo, Mr.
Thank you very much. All right. So